These violent delights have violent ends. That Shakespeare quote may have been appropriated most recently by a certain HBO drama, but on Sunday, Fear the Walking Dead made a case for violent delights of its own. Jeremiah Otto, who had slowly revealed himself to be utterly villainous, is now dead. But his killer may have come as a surprise. Although Madison Clark intended to kill the patriarch of Broke Jaw Ranch, it was Nick who pulled the trigger in a surprise twist, using the very same gun Jeremiah had just gifted him. The usually gentle Clark Kid is going to pay for this decision, promises showrunner Dave Erickson, and yes, as the violent season premiere indicated, this year will be a bloody one. Nick's decision to kill Jeremiah certainly didn't come out of the blue. He and Alicia, along with Fear's viewers, just learned their mother's backstory. Madison killed her own abusive father. So Nick's decision to kill Jeremiah himself came, at least in part, from his desire to protect his mother from getting more blood on her hands. And as Erickson told The Hollywood Reporter, it's also characteristic for Nick to side with those Jeremiah has killed, rather than Jeremiah himself. Still, Nick being Nick, Erickson emphasized that he will struggle to reconcile what he just did. As the season's back half commences, there was always a plan for Jeremiah to go away, Erickson told THR. What Nick's decision is for us as it redefines Nick and scrambles his psyche. We know Nick is sensitive. He has something of a poet's soul. Nick is not someone who can say, I put down an evil man for the greater good. He feels things far more deeply than that. It's going to get challenging for him, dealing with the murder. It'll lead to a new definition in his relationship with Madison. The Clarks are in a strange position moving forward. Their party line will be that Jeremiah committed suicide, but in the Walking Dead universe, lies like these tend to stay hidden for only so long, and Jeremiah's two living sons, Jake and Troy, are likely to find out how their father really died. Currently, Madison is positioned to seize control of the ranch, now that its founders are gone and its militia is weak. Alicia has recognized that Jake, the nice Otto brother, could be won over to their side, especially after she slept with him, and he gave her a book of poetry. As for Troy, despite Nick's effort to ingratiate himself with the more violent of the Otto boys, Troy seems most likely to be the one who eventually retaliates for Jeremiah's death. Given the Clark matriarch's declaration at the beginning of this season, it seems a battle for ultimate control over the ranch is coming. And while Walker may have been placated by Madison delivering Jeremiah's head to him, we're guessing he'll be back, too. Given Travis's death at the beginning of this season, fans can be sure of only one thing: no one on Fear is really safe. And yes, Erickson confirmed, more deaths will come when the season resumes. One of the things we like to do on this show is when a crime is committed or a murder is committed or somebody dies, there are repercussions, he said. We don't just bury it and move on. One of the big thematics of this season is violence. When is it used? And how do you justify using it? I think we'll see Nick, especially in relationship to Madison, draw that into very sharp relief. As we move forward, the short answer is, yes, there will be deaths. I obviously won't say who, but the track that we've laid in the first half of the season will carry out through the back half. The folks that do die, ultimately it'll be because of the story we've already started. And, of course, there was one more tragic loss in this episode, Nick's hair, which he lopped off as he adopted a persona more likely to win over Troy. As Erickson noted, Nick's intentional transformation operates on two levels. On one hand, he's keeping his friends close and his enemies closer. On the other, Nick recognizes some of his own self-destructive tendencies in Troy. Although Nick's haircut had a purpose, Erickson admits Madison is right to be a little concerned about it. She sees his relationship with Troy. There are definitely benefits, but she also knows who her son is and how vulnerable he can be. And I think she's a little bit worried about the transformation. In other words, as Nick continues to play friends with Troy, you can bet that mommy will be watching.